Hiring a lawyer, it can feel a little intimidating, right? There's all this complicated language, the stakes are usually pretty high, and of course, there's the cost. But what if I told you that South Africa's Legal Practice Act isn't just some boring rulebook for lawyers? No, it's actually a powerful shield, and it's designed to protect you, the client. So let's break down exactly how it works.
Okay, just picture this for a second. What if you needed a lawyer, but you never had to worry about being overcharged or, even scammed? What if you could walk in completely confident, knowing your rights, knowing the costs are totally clear from day one, and knowing the person you're hiring is 100% legit? Well, this isn't some fantasy. It's the reality the law actually provides for. You just got to know where to look.
And here's the best part. You don't need to be a legal expert to get this protection. Not at all. This whole system really just boils down to 3 simple gatekeeper rules. Think of them like checkpoints on a road trip designed to help you safely navigate the legal world. So let's walk through them, one by one.
All right, first up, checkpoint 1. Honestly, this might be the most important step of all. It's all about answering one single crucial question. Is this person actually a real lawyer? Are they legally allowed to do this work? This all comes from Section 33 of the Act, and believe me, it is your absolute first line of defense.
So the law is super specific about this. It says only a person who is qualified, admitted, and enrolled can officially call themselves a legal practitioner and, charge you for legal stuff. And this isn't just some fancy title. Nope, it's a legal status that comes with some really serious obligations on their part, and this is the important bit, major protections for you.
So think of it like this. You've got 2 very different paths you can go down. On one side, you've got an enrolled practitioner. They're like a solid bridge to legal protection. But on the other side, you've got an unqualified person. And that's a broken bridge. It's not just risky for you to use them, it's literally a criminal offense for them to practice. And that right there is why checking, verifying, is absolutely everything.
And if you're wondering why it matters so much, here's the kicker. It's all about something called the Legal Practitioners Fidelity Fund. Think of it as a massive insurance policy for the public. So if a real registered practitioner messes up and steals your money from their trust account, this fund has your back. It can cover your loss. But, and this is a huge but, if you use someone who isn't enrolled, you get zero access to that protection. None. It really is that black and white.
Okay, so you've confirmed your lawyer's legit. Boom, checkpoint 1 is done. Now it's time for checkpoint 2, and this is all about understanding what kind of lawyer you're actually hiring, because they're not all the same. The law, specifically Section 34, lays out the different ways they can set up shop.
Now, for attorneys, it's pretty straightforward. You'll usually see them practicing in one of 3 ways, either on their own as a sole practitioner, in a classic partnership with other attorneys, or as an incorporated company. You'll spot that last one pretty easily. It'll have Inc. at the end of the firm's name.
But this is where things get really interesting. The really big change in the law happened with advocates. You see, the old system was super rigid, but the new Legal Practice Act totally modernized things. It created 2 very distinct types of advocates, and this is something you, as a client, absolutely need to know about.
So you've got 2 flavors now. First, there's the traditional referral advocate. This is the one you probably know about. They can only be hired through an attorney. But now there's also the trust account advocate. And folks, this is a total game changer. Why? Because you can hire them directly. No attorney needed. They can do this because they have a Fidelity Fund certificate and run a trust account, just like an attorney would.
All right, let's move on to our final checkpoint. And this one might just be the most empowering of all. Checkpoint 3 is all about the money. Yep. Section 35 of the Act is basically your new best friend for avoiding that horrible feeling of bill shuck when a case is over. Listen up, because this is your right. It is absolutely non-negotiable. Before your lawyer lifts a single finger on your case, they are legally required to give you a written document that spells out the expected costs. This is huge. It puts you in the driver's seat and makes sure everything is transparent right from the get-go. And we're not talking about some vague number scribbled on a napkin. No way. The law is very clear on what has to be in this document. You have to see their hourly rate. You have to understand how the final bill will be calculated. They have to give you an estimate of the total cost, and, this is so important, it has to tell you about your right to get that final bill checked for fairness by an independent person. That process, by the way, is called taxation.
So there you have it. We've gone through our 3 essential checkpoints. Checking if they're real, understanding what kind of lawyer they are, and getting the costs up front. Now, let's just tie this all together so you have a crystal clear picture of your rights as a client.
Let's boil this right down to its essentials. Section 33, that's about authority. Only a real lawyer can get paid. Section 34, that's about structure, how they're allowed to set up their business. And Section 35, that's all about fees. They have to tell you the cost up front. Just remember those 3 words: authority, structure, fees. Simple as that.
Okay, so if you take away nothing else from this, please let it be these 3 things. 1, always verify that your practitioner is enrolled. Always. 2, know what kind of professional you're hiring. Is it an attorney, a referral advocate, or a trust account advocate? And 3, demand that written cost estimate up front, before any work begins. These 3 simple actions, they are your shield.
Look, the Legal Practice Act isn't just some dusty law book for lawyers. It's a roadmap for you. It's your guide. By using these 3 checkpoints, you're not just a passive passenger anymore. You're in the driver's seat of your own legal journey. So the only question left is, now that you have this power, how are you going to use it?